Heyo, Jiggly-Gut here, and for this episode it's going to be a commentary. Mostly because, for whatever reason, my microphone didn't want to work. On the last episode we made some nice rooms, that pot room over there, and LaRoche came to town, who was jumping over there. We learnt a few little recipes, and we also fought off some monsters, and got ourselves a portal piece. Now, first off, we're going to talk to Rollo here. Brilliant work showing those blighters who's boss, Jiggles. But it seems that the filthy fiends have found their humble settlement. Or found our humble settlement, rather. We have no way of knowing when they might strike next, but we must devise some means to keep them at bay. By the way, I've noticed that you found a pair of curious stone fragments in the aftermath of the battle. I had seen an artifact of similar design in the Cantlin Chronicle, and man of action that I am, I investigated further. If you were to stick those fragments together again, I believe that they would form a device known as a teleportal. Apparently, you can just plonk that thing down on the ground and, hey presto! It'll whisk you away on a sunbeam, magical rainbows, and unicorns shooting lasers out of their arse to a place where you can find whatever your heart desires. For a builder like yourself, putting together a thing like that would be no problem at all. Well, Jiggles, do you think you can glue that teleportal back together again? So, yes, we get the recipe for the blue teleportal, which is the way we go about getting to other locations in the province of Cantlin. It takes us to other islands off in the distance, poison swamps, deserts, that sort of thing. So we only need like blue goo, earth, and the fragments to create the portals. And you usually get 3 of those per chapter, and is a mark of progression. So we've got some bones here. It's like I'm wondering where they come from, so I plant them under that tree and they give me a round of applause for it. Well, really, it's a round of applause for planting the teleportal. By my baby blue eyes and my hairy ass crack, you've done it, Jiggles. You've made a teleportal. Yeah, I love ripping on this guy. Now you can travel to distant, mysterious worlds and back again. In these new and exciting lands, you're sure to find new and exciting materials with which to build new and exciting items. Quickly now, plop that teleportal down on the ground and hop on through to whatever wonderful destination awaits you. Oh wait, you've already done it, but I'm fucking blind. Actually, Jiggles, before you head off, there is something I do wish to ask of you, something on which the good of our city and its continued growth may depend. Once you have that teleportal up and running again, I'm a blind fuck, I beg you to speak with me before you step through it. So we get a quest complete, and we got some coarse cloth, which is lucky. They give me another round of applause, and right here I decided, well, I had memory of the poison swamps up over the hills here, and I also had a recollection of there being a chest over that way. Alas, there was not a chest. I remember that there were swamps there, but there was no chest. Still, we didn't come back empty-handed. We came back with a few building materials, a pot, which I put to good use eventually. And we fought some enemies. Now, in a moment here, we're about to get attacked by... Hell. I still can't recall the enemy's name, actually. That fellow. And, yeah, while fighting that fellow, I was having trouble recalling its name. I still have trouble recalling its bloody name. I should have done a Google search on the frickin' name. It'll come to me eventually. But they start chasing us, and then a chimera comes up the other side of the cliff, and it decides it wants a piece of the action. But I go parkouring down the side of this cliff face, and make good my escape. There we go. Now over here you've got a lot of campfires and stuff. They're mostly there as sort of landmarks, I guess. It's like, yeah, you won't get lost. Get a few pedals. This dude's still going at it. Eventually I do get angry enough to turn around and whack him in the face with my oaken club. But for now, yeah, he just doesn't seem to take a hint. Now I'm like, oh, come on, dude. Go away. Get a hobby that isn't chasing me around the countryside at night. As you can see, I start off with a 2-hit attack pattern where I'd hit him 2 times and then he'd swipe, and then I'd go back and I'd hit him again, dodge, rinse and repeat. The most efficient way of doing it, though, is like 4 strikes, dodge the swipe, go in for another 4, and pretty much go until, you know, the witchy, ghosty bastard croaks, falls down flat, and good times are had by all. So yeah, we come along through here. Here comes another one. You can hear him sort of floating through the air. So I try 2 strikes there, and then I try to get a little more greedy, but I miss 2 strikes. Miss him again, and then I'm like, yeah, let's go for 3. Then it's like, oh no, wait, I can do 4 of them. Yeah, we collect plenty of mushrooms, which I later go back and I turn them into shrooms on sticks. Succulent shrooms on sticks. Which end up decorating the inside of a treasure chest. But let's see. So I'm trying to get a drop from them now, but they don't want to drop Jack and Deadly. Thankfully, the day comes, collecting more shrooms, and it's like things seem to be going my way, and it's like, okay, where's that chest? Where's that chest? Dude, the chest wasn't fucking there, man. That chest don't exist. So, yeah, had one of those senior moments again, where it's like, oh, well, shit, I remembered wrong. Yeah, that's one of the things that is over here, though. You might have saw off to the side there that there is a sleeping dragon. There's usually 2, 3 in each chapter, and they drop some good stuff. There he is over there. An orange fellow. But they're very hard to kill. You need some good equipment before you go piss farting around with them, because they can roast you in a blink of an eye with their fiery breath, and that's not very fun at all now, is it? So we come along here, and I finally find the poison swamp that I was remembering. I'm like, aha, poison swamp. And then, for whatever reason, I'm like, wait, was it poison? And I jumped on into the water. I was like, yes, it's indeed poisoned. But first I came over here, decided to get some plum berries, and picked a fight with a Draki for no real reason at all. Other than because I'm an asshole, and I pick fight with Drakis. So finally we come across this new purple bush that grows in the swamps. And we get some long stalks. And I decide to myself, well, yeah, you know, I'm here, I'm going to get 30 of the fucking things whilst looking for that chest. Which doesn't exist. Yes, my disappointment was immense in finding that my memory was a little off with, you know, the details of the expedition over this way. And then we got these bastards over here. He completely blanked me. He turned around and he decided to piss off over the other side of the swamp. So, you know, Mr. Chimera here thinks, oh yeah, yo, I'll have at you. And I'm like, yeah, go away, man. Just go away. Taste my oaken club of wrath. And then I decide, yeah, okay, I'm going to build a path across here. It'll be fantastic. I'll get across the poison. And now he decides that, oh yeah, I want to have a go at you too. So here I am fighting this bloody tree. And he doesn't hit too hard. He doesn't hit as hard as those, you know, floaty, witchy ghost things of the night time. But he does have that spell that you don't want to be anywhere near. And they do take a pretty decent beating this early in the level, when all you've got to rely on is a frickin' oaken club. You do more damage throwing rocks. But alas, that is not an option. So I come over here, I continue plonking down my dirt, you know, the optimism, the enthusiasm, the spirit of a child in my eyes as I think, yes, there's a chest. It's over here. It's gotta be. Yeah, my spirit was crushed. There was no chest. It was sad. It was disappointing. There was nothing but killer trees and long stalks that, you know, I got 30 of the fucking things and just no chest. It's not fair. But it didn't take too long to gather up the long stalks. They're very plentiful in the area. Couldn't quite remember at the time what it was exactly that I needed the long stalks for. Just that, you know, I'd need them. So really, it was an exercise in, you know, it was a tedious exercise in needless work, needless gathering. But you know, usually anything that you come across or you pick up, you're gonna bloody need. So it's like, you know, right now the hope in my heart and my spirit, you know, it's like it's fading. I'm like, oh shit, I'm out of land. Where is this chest? I rotate the camera and I decide, oh, what ho, it's got to be up among these mounds over here. So I decide to just jump right in, plonk through the poison, and check up over the top. Well, gee willikers, what a coinky-dink. There's no bloody box here either. Well, shit. Could have sworn there was a bloody chest around here. And now I've got to make my way back up the cliff face. I've only got 3 blocks of dirt. What am I going to do? Well, I'm going to get it off this hill over here. Or so I decide. So I start hacking away with my oaken club. After I sulk for a bit. So I get some poisonous peat. And I decide, yeah, 9's enough. Let's get the hell out of this place before the ghosts come along again. Scale this bloody cliff. And still, somehow, I have a little bit of hope in me that there is this chest that's still lurking around. It's got to be up here on the fucking ridge, amongst the chimeras and lack of scenery. So I decide to hop over here and I jump about, and this bastard wants to go at me, but you know, I don't want anything to do with him. Down there's where we met Rollo. You know, by Merlin's beard and fucking Henry's ass. You know, the guy, you know, beardy boy. I come along here, and it's about halfway back along this ridge that I'm like, well, shit, I really don't think that there is anything here. And I finally decide to cut my losses. I sort of pivot on my heels and decide, yep, feck it, I'm heading back to Cantlin. This is no longer worth my time. Not that it was worth time in the first frickin' place, because there was bloody nothing. So this Chimera's like, yeah, yo, I want a piece of you, come back here. And I'm like, yeah, get lost. I'm going to figure out how to jump down here without taking damage, and then I'm off home to talk to Beardy Boy about a dog that's gotten lost looking for a damn chest. Well, no, that wasn't the conversation, but yeah, I decided to head back to Cantlin. Once I got my bearings, I was up and over the hills and far away. Decided to grab a couple of branches on the way through and made my way over. And it's like, okay, where is Rollo? And I eventually find him sleeping next to Pippa on a straw mattress. You know, that guy doesn't deserve a straw frickin' mattress. He deserves a bed of nails. Again, one of these pests decides to come along and ruin my day, and I'm like, no way. I send him on his way to the afterlife, or back to where he came from. I decide, okay, I'm going to come in here, I'm going to cook my shrooms, because I deserve it. So I just cook them all in one big clump, and they go brrrr. It was a thing of beauty. And I decide I'm going to have 3 right on the spot. No, 4. I had 4 on the spot and a plumberry for dessert. And then I popped the rest in the box and discovered that someone made a fried egg. It's like, groovy, I'll leave it there. And I'll pop the fried shrooms in, and everyone will be happy, and they'll have shrooms for breakfast. And someone will have an egg, probably Pippa, I don't know. You know, probably Rollo, actually, that selfish bastard. He'd probably hoard the fucking egg. I basically come in here to drop off materials that I don't think I'll need. Blue goop, dried grass, bits of cloth, sticks, that thing, and a feather. And I'm like, okay, that's good. And I'm thinking to myself, maybe, just maybe, I'll make some healing cream. So I decide to make 5 of those bloody things. Which, you know, in all honesty, you can't go wrong with HP recovery shit. You know, you take damage, you'll need it eventually. It's a fucking necessity of the adventurer. Adventurer's essentials. Healing cream, HP recovery stuff, red potions, blue potions, green potions, rainbow potions. That weird fucking potion you get in Diablo 1 that increases your stats. That was like a rainbow potion, wasn't it? Or a yellow potion or some fucking potion. I freaking remember. Not that it's relevant to this situation at all. So I come in here to talk to him, and then I'm like, hang about. Check out how the light sort of plays off his eyelids there. It kind of looks like he has glowing eyes. And then I start, you know, sort of making an ass of myself, pretending to be Rollo snoring. And it's like, yeah, the novelty soon wore off, and I decided to wake his ass up. By my athletic physique and my flabby jowls, the teleportal has been activated. That mystical swirling light is positively hypnotic. When a teleportal shines like that, it shows that a path has opened to a place where all your dreams can come true. Jiggles, my friend, there is one thing I wish to ask of you before you pass through that glimmering veil. I ask that you find out how to build that most mighty of tools, the giant mallet. The Cantland Chronicle describes the giant mallet as a fearsome hammer strong enough to break huge boulders and fell great trees. Rocks and wood aside, you are bound to find a veritable bounty of new materials wherever this teleportal takes you. And with new materials come ideas for new items we can use to make our city even bigger and better. The monsters known as hammerhoods carry these giant mallets everywhere they go. I'm sure that they could tell you how to build one. Once you have learnt the recipe, waste no time. Build one straight away and show it to me. And that is our next task. So once I was done taking the piss out of him, I decided to sort of jump straight through the portal, and we end up in a new island. Now, anytime you come across a new island in this game, you will find a chest right next to your portal, and it will usually contain a naviglobe, which is a tool that you can use. You can place it down to create a pip on your compass, basically a custom waypoint to mark things of note. And we also got a note from Sir Reginald. Wanderer of the great plains of Cantland, I bestow to you a naviglobe. Set it firmly upon the ground, and ever shall its guiding light be reflected upon thy compass. If thou wishest to return to a place with confidence, whether it be a place of safety or opportunity, simply set this globe before thee, and let it guide thy way. To whosoever readeth this missive, may Rubus watch over thee, and in all thine adventures. Sir Reginald Augustus Graynus, Cantland Brigade of Guards. So we usually find a note from Sir Reginald along with naviglobes. I decide to come over here. I break some ivy, and then I see some bushes down there, the big bulky bushes, and I'm like, oh yeah, I'll have a go at that. So with the ivy we can make cord, which is useful. And with these bushes that I wanted down there, we can get medicinal leaves from them. And here I started prattling on about coal and copper, but we can't get them until we get our giant mallet, from which we need to learn the recipe from hammerhoods. So this was basically an exercise in gathering up petals and killing some slimes, and mostly just getting these medicinal leaves, which are slightly better than the healing cream in that they heal 30 instead of the healing cream's 25. Yeah, a carefully prepared pouch of pain-relieving leaves restores 30 HP. So, yeah, they're certainly worth picking up. And we also learned how to make fruit salad from the leaves as well, to which they're a component of. Anyways, I go over there, I slash up a few more bushes, and then I decide that the slimes aren't exactly worth my time beyond me getting these, and I decide to leave them well enough alone. So I end up climbing up this bit of ivy once I break some tiles, and up we go. I break a few more, and I'm like, okay, that's great. And then I spot a hammerhood, and I'm like, okay, these purple ones, they're friendly, as long as you don't mess with them. And what do? I touch one, and then he takes a swing at me, so I'm like, bugger it. Rock on. And I get my first clump of fur, which allows me to make leather armor and a leather shield. which is definitely on my to-do list in the near future. But it opens the door for many a defensive item there, which are great boons. So I decide, well, now that I've pissed off this one, I'm going to take it on, and then if its friend behind me wants to go, I'm going to kill it as well. And I discover, oh wait, no, it's an orange-red she slime. The male slimes are generally blue. These ones are she slimes, if I can remember correctly. And we got ourselves some orange goop, which allows us to make wayfarers' clothes, which is, the next step between the rags that we're wearing and that leather armor. This is the next, doable bit of armor. And we also got a rainbow-hued brew of colourful goo, also known as magic dye. So I decide, I'm going to beat up a couple more she slimes and chase down this hammerhood, because why not? I want more fur. The fur trade is doing well, and I must have it. And then I come across some butter beans. Again, it's a nice quick snack if you're hungry. Outside of recipes that you need them for, they're not all that great. So I come over here, I take a swipe at that hammerhorde, and then his friend decides to come along. By that time I've already eviscerated him, or her, And then I decide, okay, I'm going to bop this one, so down I come. Nailed me with the hammer, but I finished them. And I was like, another she slime. So there I am slashing, and then this gang of brown hammerhoods comes along. Now these ones, unlike the purple ones, are always hostile on sight. So it's like, shit, now I got to deal with these guys. And as you can see, they've sort of got like a mob leader there. Identifiable by, I'm bigger than you, I'm higher in the food chain. Get in my belly! So they start doing their super move, this big glowing hammer strike. And either it does a lot of damage, or they just fall flat on their ass. Like so. I've taken out the minions. I'll take him out, and then I'm like, oh shit, I'm full on items. So I'm looking, I'm like, okay, can I eat these beans? Turns out, if you don't prepare them, you can't eat the beans. And I didn't think of eating the plumberry fruit, so what I ended up doing was planting these bloody flowers instead. And I pick up a leather sack, which is a component needed in making, I think it's an item shop that we'll need much later. Not right now, but needed eventually. So in here we've got the Hamilton Heights Visitor Center with a friendly hammerhood.
Strike, strike, strike me down! It's a human! What do you think you're doing, barging in here like you own the place? You've got a lot of nerve, Well, no harm done. I suppose, to be honest, I don't really have anything against humans. So, what do you want? What? You want to take a look at my tool? But we've only just met. Well, you're talking about my hammer. You have to excuse my perverse assumption there. If you want to know how to make a giant mallet, Clobberina's the hammerhood to ask. She shouldn't be hard to find. There's a bonfire on the roof of the house. So just look for that, okay? Here, human. Take this. Consider it a sign of our newfound friendship.
And I obtain a signpost which immediately disappears into the ether because I don't have fucking room. But it matters not. So I leave the Hamilton Heights Visitor Center, and straight away I found the bonfire on the roof. This here is Clobberina's place. And I got to go around the side. I sort of got stuck on the vines there. It's not really a bonfire though, it's a brazier. So I come in and I talk to her.
Well, bless my soul, if it isn't a little human. I'm Clobberina, the head hammerhood. I suppose you might call me the hammerhead. What might a poor, beleaguered human want with me? Mercy me! You want to know how to make our giant mallets? I'm sorry, my dear. I know it must be hard being a human, but you won't turn into a hammerhood that easily. And besides, these hammers are our most precious treasure. The recipe's a closely guarded secret. It wouldn't be right to tell every Tom, Dick, and Harriet how to make them. Oh, come now, dearie, don't be like that. Perhaps there is some way we could... Oh, I know! My roof has got 3 great big holes in it. The wind comes right through and it plays havoc with my old bones. And don't get me started on the rain. I get soaked to the skin. I'll catch my death one of these days, I tell you. A few blocks of straw floor would plug those holes right up. I do it myself, but I'm not as young as I once was. Well, how about it? Do you think you could fix up my roof? You can use ivy around here to make cord, and you'd need to bundle it up the straw into blocks, and once you've built straw floor blocks, just pop them in the holes. If you did fix up my roof for me, I'd be ever so grateful. I might even show you how to make a giant mallet just like mine. So that is our quest. We've got to fix holes in Clobberina's roof to get the recipe to make a giant mallet in order to be able to break boulders and chop trees and what have you. Now, one of the perks of, the audio stuffing up and having to record a commentary over the top so it's not as dull is that I just noticed that there's a chest inside Clobberina's house that I failed to notice, or remember for that matter. So I'll have to go back and check that out in part 4. So I decided to come over here. I'm looking around because I know there's like a hut over here. I'm like, this is the place. This is where the hut is. And I decide to run in here. It's already got a door, and I make it my safe house for the area. So I adjust the camera, I get out some dirt, and I'm like, Bob's your uncle, Fanny's your aunt, let's make this a room. Jiggles builds a room. And then I'm like, okay, I've got too much crap. Look at this. I've got straw, I've got ivy, I've got goop in my pockets. And I'm like, okay, right, I've got to build a chest. So, first off, I'm like, okay, I'll build as much cord as I can. But, unfortunately, that leaves me with one bit of ivy. So it's like, shit. Well, let's do a chest. I'll build a chest, I'll put my items in it, it'll all be great. That goes on the floor. I can't pick it up because my inventory's full. I'm like, fuck. So I'll pop the naviglobe down. Pop the naviglobe down, pick up the fucking cord. I'm like, oh shit, well, I need more room. I learned how to make the straw floor, which is essentially a quick way of turning a dirt floor into straw floor without having to dig it up and replace straw blocks. So I'm like, oh fuck. Now is the time where I finally notice that I've got plum berries, and I eat them.
which I didn't do earlier. And then I place the chest, I put my gear away, and everything is fine and good with the world. So it's like, yeah, I'll store my sack, I'll store the beans, I'll store this frickin' bit of ivy and whatever else. I take a look at the leather sack and it's like, yeah, I'll come back for that. We'll need it eventually, but we don't need it now. And then I decide that, yeah, I should probably just get around to making these straw floors. So I finally pull a thumb out of my pucker and go, okay, let's make a straw floor. So 5 grassy leaves and 5 cords makes 10 straw floors. So in they fly. And we now have the ability to go over and fix Clobberina's roof. But as you can hear from the music, it's night time, terrors of the night are lurking around, and I decide, well, you know, screw it. We've got a mattress in here, I'm going to employ the use of it, and skip to morning and gain 5 bits of HP back. Sounded like a pretty good deal to me. So we wake up with a nice yawn, not realizing the peril of the day. Which shall befall us in a little bit. I see a skeleton and I'm like, aha! It be a skeleton. I'll take you on. So he takes a swipe at me and I take a swipe with my club. He tries again. I take a few more swipes and I get some coarse cloth. And I'm like, okay, well that wasn't bad. Take a swipe at some she slimes. Collect some more orange goop. And then I'm like, oh crap, I'm starting to hoard items again. No, just deal with the job at hand. Get that roof patched up. Get it done. Get it out of the way. So you're not, you know, burdened by poor inventory or lack thereof. So you plug in the 3 holes, plug, 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 and you get the little ditty and a message saying, Jiggles repairs Clobberina's roof. And it's like, oh yeah, fantastic, yay! So we come back down and talk to her.
Oh my word, you fixed my roof. And what a wonderful job you've done too. I didn't think you had it in you. Hold on a minute. A human with the power to build things out of nothing. Don't tell me you're the legendary builder. Oh my. Would you listen to me? Getting all excited. Don't worry, dearie. Your secret's safe with me.
See, that chest is peeking around the corner there.
You humans were once so powerful, but now there's hardly anything left of you. Meanwhile, us monsters grow stronger by the day. Truth be told, I can't say I'm happy with this arrangement. I think this world could do with a bit of balance. Now, that's not to say I want to see the world crawling with humans, but it'd be a real shame if you all died out. All right, I'll help you, but this is just between you and me, dearie. We wouldn't want the Dragon Lord finding out now, would we? First things first, let me show you how to build a giant mallet.
So finally, at long last, we get the iconic tool of this game, the giant mallet, which allows us to do most of our breaking. It is the Dragon Quest Builder's Essential. And I'm straight onto the roof like a shot to make it. It also does, it has +8 attack, which makes it stronger than the Oaken Club. Which doesn't matter because we pretty much learn a recipe for a better weapon straight away upon breaking some rocks. And here I am, you know, I didn't notice how close it was that my armor was about to break. So here I am thinking, I'm God's gift to the earth. I come down here with my mallet and I'm like, yeah, I'm king shit. I'm going to take on these skeletons. So I get stone and I learn the stone sword. I learn how to make a stone table and a stone stool. As you can see, the stone sword has plus 11 attack, which immediately makes it better than the hammer. But yeah, that's still not going to stop me from trying to wail on these skeletons. It's like, I've got this skeleton, I'm going to clobber him with my hammer. We also learnt stone steps and a bunch of other crap as well, but it's neither here nor there. Well, Mason's workstation, yes, that too. You can make as many of them as you want. So it's like, skeletons, I'll take you on. And one slash, and I'm like, I'll bop you, and then poof! What? What is this? This shameful display. I'm here in my frickin' undies. So, it's at this moment I'm like, oh screw it, I don't even have the defense of ragged rags. I'm out of here. This is a shameful disgrace, and I should have paid more heed to my clothes, and now I'm a moron running around the wilderness in, leather undies. So it's like, I grab my sack, I grab my goop, I grab my fur, my medical leaves, and my white petals, and I leave the dried grass and the beans behind, thinking, fuck them, they can stay in the chest. And I make a beeline for the portal while a swarm of skeletons are chasing me down from behind. So we hop over some little ledges here and there. Up over that. I turn back. There's still a skeleton after me, but he's too slow. We made it to the portal. But I decide, I want this chest. Now that I've got the ability to break it, and then I'm like, oh fuck, I'm full on items. So it's like, screw it. In through the portal. Get to the Stargate. So now I'm here. I'm like, yes. First things first. Come over here and, get to making some new duds. So finally, we've got the Wayfarer's clothes. Plus 5 to defense. Much more snazzy than, the ragged robes. And we're no longer a schmuck running around in our goddamn underpants. Got a slime jumping around back there going, whoopee! But, there we go. Nice, groovy Wayfarer's clothes. A bit of a movement boost with it as well. Dump all the non-essentials away into the box. It's like, straw floor and all this other crap. Yeah, toss it in. Don't need it right now. It's like, put the leaves in. Take them out. There we go. Nice, solid, beautiful. Inventory's perfect. I'll just tidy it up a bit. And we'll speak to Rollo. By my knobbly knuckles and crusty knickers, Jiggles, you've done it and built a great mallet. With a hammer like that, you can smash up all sorts of things that you couldn't smash up before. Why, just around here, there are trees and rocks, and through the blue teleportal, there's said to be copper and coal in abundance. Once a clever lass like you gets her hands on materials like that, well, there's no end to what you might invent. And just think, when you build new inventions, you might be able to dream up recipes for even more exciting items. Go on, Jiggles. Head out into the world and swing that mallet around like there's no tomorrow. Smash up everything you see and pick up all the materials you haven't been able to collect so far. And if you work out how to build new things, waste no time. Build them straight away. To begin with, why don't you try chopping down one of those nearby trees? And it's like, I get some chimera feathers, and I'm like, okay, groovy. So, I'm like, I'm going to waste no time. I go out and I'm like, yeah, let's start with this tree, get some plumberries, a few, white petals and some branches while we're at it. Sounds good to me. We learned the recipe for making wood. So that is pretty good. A perfectly planed plank of stripped lumber. And then I decide to take a whack at these other things, and I'm like, oh shit, I forgot. This doesn't exactly have the nice horizontal sweep of the other items. So I end up switching to my oaken cloak to finish off these last few items here. Wait, did I say oaken cloak? Oaken club. My apologies. So out comes the oaken club. Start sweeping them up and go, yep, let's just tidy this area up. Come over here, get those ones, and then I'll start on this tree over here. Pop that down. So yeah, a few strikes and the tree comes down, and then you strike the stump, and that'll drop a sapling, which you'll want to plant to renew your resources and to not be a dick to nature. So I chop up another tree, another sapling. Oh, that branch dropped. I didn't quite grab it. That sucks. I decide, yes, I'm going to plant my trees up on the hill here, overlooking the town. So it's like, we'll plant one here, and one here, and one down here, and one a little bit more over. Yeah, perfect. And I decide, yeah, I'm going to head over here to this area where we read Reginald's sign earlier and smash up some rocks. In like this quarry looking area. Which I do pretty quickly. I should have grabbed those floor rocks actually, those floor tiles. But I didn't think of it at the time. So I finally decide to run back to town, and then I'm eyeing this tree and I'm like, you know what? That's camouflage for an enemy. I want it gone. So I decide to hammer on this as well. Take the sapling and plant that up on the hill. Like a good boy. There we go. Right here should be just fine. Yep. And now we head back to Cantlet, and I decide, okay, I'm going to tidy up a bit. I'm going to clear up these big rocks that are still around, which there are like 2 of. And then I'm going to take a hammer to these stone walls, and I'm going to replace some of the walling in Pippa's house. So I come over, I start smashing them up. It's like, yep, that's good. Smash away, smash away. It's like, well, why do you want stone walls? Well, it's like, yeah, we had the invasion earlier. We only got attacked by skeletons. Eventually you'll get enemies that are capable of smashing through weak, piddly dirt walls. So you do want your buildings made of decent materials. You know, 1, it looks nice, and 2, they're stronger. As for these grey ones, they're just more a obstacle to be dealt with. So here I come, I decide, yeah, start work on this wall here. Take out some stones, patch it up. It becomes basic bedroom again until I knock down the wall once more to put in the last 2 blocks. It's at this time I noticed that LaRoche also has a job for me. So I pull up those in, and then I'm like, maybe I'll... And then, yeah, this bastard shows up. Rollo dragged it over and yeah, we got a monster egg from it, which was a plus. Smashed up this wall. And then I got to thinking, well, okay, maybe I'll fix up the rest of Pippa's wall. And then I'm like, no, what I'll do is I'll pretty up the town square. And I was part way through doing it, and then I'm like, no, wait, the town square has floor tiles, not wall. So right now, yeah, it's sort of a patchwork of wall tiles and flooring, which didn't please me. I ended up getting annoyed to the point where I just sort of left one floating off to the side, and it's like, oh, fuck it, I'll get back to it. So it's like I plant that, and I plant that there. I'm like, okay, I'll dig it up, and it's like, oh, come on, sit properly. And I don't quite get it there, and I'm like, ah, screw it, it can stay there for now. Run back into the heart. I decide to pop away my items. So it's like stone, this, that. I straight away turn the wood into, or the lumber rather, into wood, 20 bits of wood, and we learn the recipe for, what is it, a bench and a saloon door. But I also make for myself a stone sword to use in combat, so I don't have to, waste my hammer on, pesky skeletons, drakies, and other odds and ends. Go up, yeah, make the wood, there we go. I decided to make as many as I could, so along comes 20 bits of wood. There we go, bench, so we can make like parks, and we got like a saloon door there, fantastic. I pop the wood away, and then I'm sort of thinking to myself, what's Pippa doing outside at night time? I've added the sword to my equipment, and I go over and I take a look, and I'm like, oh shit, that's right, there's only 2 beds. And that bastard LaRoche and Rollo have been selfish. They've taken the beds and they've left the little girl to sort of wander around at night time in the dark with the monsters lurking around, while, Wonderbeard in there snores on logs, and frickin' LaRoche and blah. So, yeah, needless to say, I came in, I looked, I'm like, oh, what the bloody hell? Really? You guys didn't have the courtesy to give the little girl a bed. So, feeling bad, I duck back to the mason's bench, the mason's table. I make another straw mattress. I'm like, Pippa can have a frickin' bed, you bastards. Plug it down, and then I'm like, oh, well, shit, would you look at the time? I was going to do another quest, but, I've already gone, almost, 50 minutes at this point, or well over 50 minutes. So it's like, yep, this is the end of part 3. Join me next time for part 4. Hopefully the audio will work and record properly. But until next time, this has been Jiggly-Gut. Thank you for watching. Peace out, and I will see you next time, and we will do either LaRoche or Rollo's quest. See you then.